Welcome, everybody. I'm Jeff Levy. I'm Director of Business Development at 2H Software and also an advisor for One Business World and the Mentor Project. And I'm really pleased this morning to introduce our first speaker is Abu Kamara. And Abu is the CEO and co-founder of Grovara, which is one of the first B2B global marketplaces for US wellness brands. And he's going to be speaking about transforming global trade for consumer brands. And I've talked with Abu, and he's a remarkable guy. He's got a great story to tell, and I think you'll all enjoy it. So I'm going to turn it over to Abu. Abu, thank you very much again for starting us off this morning. We look forward to hearing your story.
Sure. Thank you so much, Jeff, and thank you to the team at YW and all the participants across the world. I know you guys can hear a little bit of an accent right now, even though I'm from the United States. I live in the United States, but I'm actually from Sierra Leone, West Africa. I'm really excited to be here. We're doing some good things with global trade. We're on a mission to transform world global trade. And what I mean by that is CPG product, consumer product that you will walk into a supermarket and buy every day. You will wonder how a US product ends up in Hong Kong, how a Belgian products ends up in Mexico. We've built a marketplace to move those products back and forth so retailers and brands can do business globally. But before I get along with that, I just wanted to share my story. So I'm from Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a small, beautiful country in West Africa. I'm from there, grew up there, and I like to tell people that I had a good mix of a great time growing up, but also saw some of the worst things that the world has to offer. I was in the middle of a civil war since I was 10 years old until I was 16, almost 17, So I saw a lot of hardships, a lot of destructions, just some of the worst things you can see in life, but it was a mix of prior to that, growing up in a family that does international business. And I had the opportunity to travel the world, live in a beautiful country. So when I was 10 years old, a civil war starts. I literally moved with my family from town to town, city to city. Saw a lot of things, lost a few of my close friends at that point when I was growing up, to the point where I was 16, the United States intervened. I was lucky enough to be airlifted by a Black Hawk helicopters. It's just fortuitous that I'm hearing fighter jets going over my head right now because I'm in close to a airbase here in Maryland in the US. So I was airlifted when I was 16, taken to a US warship, taken to Guinea, which is a neighboring country, Belgium, and then ended up in the United States. But what I tell people all the time is that built me for the character I have now. I have a global perspective and I can withstand, nearly any pressure that life has to offer. The entrepreneurs does have a lot of stress. So going through my youth like that, I naturally built to take pressure. So in any way, fast forward, I ended up having a great life in the US also. Went to Rutgers University, graduated, did international economics, ended up meeting my business partner while I was working for Oracle after Rutgers. And we set out to really transform global trade. So that's where we are now. I've traveled to 71 countries, did a lot of business with US brands, taking them manually to several countries, and then met buyers from all across the world. So that's my story. I'm really excited to be here. Definitely. So Grovara is on a mission to transform global trade. It's a big goal. We're a small company, but we're fully confident that we're going to do this because of our expertise. So just a little bit about global trade is when, if you have a brand in the US in, say, California, and you are trying to sell that brand to retailers in, say, Dubai, right? Individuals can buy from across the world. That's called international sales. But when a business like a retailer or distributors buys a product in pallets, bulk size, and containers to sell on their business and resell, whether their website or their retail stores or as a distribution, it's called global trade, right? So right now that exporting, which is that global trade, is 100% manual, meaning that a brand has to go to a trade show, meet a buyer, connect with them, sample their product, depending on type of product, and then they go their separate ways and start physically phone calling each other, emailing each other to do business. So we were like, why do businesses have to be like that? When I want to shop, half of the time, or most of the time, I'll go on Amazon, Etsy, and buy what I want. So doing the physical part of global trade for about 7 years, we were like, there has to be a new way, right? And we just thought about our personal experiences. And I was like, okay, if I can shop at Amazon, a retailer in any country that wants to buy a brand from another country to stock their shelves should have the same experience as we do. So that's when the idea popped up, and we launched what we call Grovara, right? So Grovara is the first online B2B global marketplace. It's a wholesale marketplace that does everything from discovery all the way to paying and making a purchase from business to business worldwide for consumer products that you and I buy, right? Just a little bit about the opportunity out there. It's so the US alone, when brands sell outside of the US to retailers and distributors, it's about $115 billion of sales happening right now manually. Worldwide, it's over $1 trillion of products that are being sold from one country to another, business to business, that's done manually. So we are the first platform in the world that automates this process. I see that it will have a question. Jeff, you want the questions afterwards or now? All right, we'll keep going. So this is a market that we're going after. I'm actually going to Dubai on Saturday because we're expanding to the Middle East right now, meeting with a lot of retailers who are looking to buy brands from the United States using our marketplace. So this just shows you how the business is done from a manual perspective. As you can see, there's all these cost structures and this manual process that take place, and it's so expensive. With Grovara, like I said, retailers, distributors, businesses can now log into an Amazon-like website, which is Grovara, and have the same buying experience that you guys and I do on a daily basis. Soon it's going to be on a mobile phone. When they're on a train going to work, they can buy $100,000 worth of products to stock their store shelves. And if you live in South Africa, you can work and buy a brand from Germany, United States. But you will know now that those brands got into those store shelves because the retailers connected with those brands on our marketplace, right? So we're just transforming an entire industry. This was a snapshot that we had last year. We have over 120 brands on the platform right now and over 1,000 buyers across the world buying thousands of items, back and forth from us. And this shows you just the transformation. And let me just highlight here, the transformation really did not happen as strategically as you guys will think. When we set out to sell brands globally, we were doing manually ourselves. We never thought of us really having a marketplace, having the technology to transform global trade. That happened within the last 3 years when we had that vision. So before, we were just part of the process. We were selling to people globally, selling to companies globally, going through all the pain points that the seller will go through and seeing the struggles that the buyers had. So we reached a point where we were like, we're not just going to be a physical company, right? That's operating like we're back in the 1990s. And you guys are young right now. So I really want you to pay attention to this, right? So we had two options here. We can stay doing the physical international business, which is we meet people at trade shows, call them up. We have warehouses and trucks that stores these products and have them just shipped, manually from our warehouse all the way to wherever they want to go to. So we thought that, and we know there's no way we can become a $1 billion company, right? You see the $1 billion opportunity here doing the same thing. We can grow to a certain level, but never make it to how we can get to, right? My mindset since I was young, you guys will be thinking right now, oh, he's all the way from Sierra Leone, Africa, one of the poorest countries on paper, even though we're rich in resources and mind. how can he have this big vision? But my thing is, I've always been a big thinker. Luckily, I've always strived to be great. So I was like, we're not just gonna be here like any other distribution company selling internationally. Let's take all what we've learned manually and let's build a marketplace platform so we can own the whole business, own the whole industry. So as you can see right now, we're a marketplace right now. We're also a marketplace where buyers can make payments online. We also now have the opportunity to have advertising revenue, kind of like how Amazon does, subscription revenue, and we're automating the logistics process to physically move a product. So what I mean by that is right now, all the paperwork to, if I want to ship a brand from Kansas to Paris, all the paperwork is done manually. Sometimes they have to sign it manually. We've automated about 95% of those paperwork that follows the order. When you ship to a country, you have to clear customs. They can be generated from our platform right now. It's the first time ever anybody has done that in the world. And we're actually filing a patent for that export documentation automation and few functionalities that we have for our business. So we're now a complete ecosystem. And that's the big idea that I had, and that's what we're doing. And we're on the forefront of transforming global trade. I'll just go to the last slide. So I'm very, very proud of my team. I grew up in a very diverse, community and mindset. I've had friends from all over the world. I've traveled to 41 countries, and that reflects on our team. I tell my team all the time, we're going to look like the United Nations. We have 31 team members right now, and that's exactly how we look. What I mean by that is 65% of our team members are women, number one. Also, more than 57% now, because I just checked yesterday, are from culturally diverse. Over 85% of us speak multiple languages, including myself. I speak 3 languages. So that's what the world is. We're handling global trade, and we have to look like the world, when we're working with international folks from all over the world. So that's my story. That's what we're doing in transforming global trade. And we just want to have a big impact. We want to empower brands and retail buyers and distribution buyers from across the world to finally go online and handle their business rather than doing things manually as they have been doing. So I want to stop here a little bit. I'm going to show you guys the platform a little bit, but Jeff, before that, do you want me to answer any questions?
I don't know if you got any questions before, but I do have something for you, for myself, because you went into this beautiful technology that you have and what you are accomplishing right now. But just for people out there, students especially, you put a lot of time in the ground. I mean, as you mentioned, you went to a lot of countries, and how did that play into your success?
It's very important. One thing I know about business, wherever you are, you have to know your customers. So, so I'm going to show you guys the platform a little bit. So how that plays into our success, international has to do a lot with cultural norms. People buy differently in different countries, right? People negotiate differently. People want different things. So being to 41 countries now, I have a good sense of how the world operates, and I'm learning every day, right? So our team, and it relates to how we build our team. We have team members in 7 countries right now. And I think we're going to have team members in like 25 or more countries when it's all said and done. Business is a relationship. So you have to understand people. And a company as big as Walmart Mexico, who's one of the buyers on our platform, you just have to know one person at Walmart Mexico to have a relationship with Walmart Mexico. So traveling around the world really, really helps you have that point of view. And I'll encourage your students to just travel, see the world, and meet people, and have a diverse thought process. It's going to help a lot.
Yeah, that's great, Abu. And I think, it's something, again, about the young entrepreneurs of the world. What we're going to be doing during the course of our, of what we're doing is really trying to bring students together so they can meet people from different countries to do what you've just said. So that's great. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys. Do you want me to showcase the platform a little bit?
Sure,
So I can
you
show you
feel
guys
free,
the
and if there's any
platform?
questions that came in, you can also answer that as well.
Okay, cool. Don't mind my screen here, guys. It's so busy here. So this is Grovara, right? I'm gonna minimize my view real quick. So this is Grovara. Like I said, we're the first B2B global marketplace for world trade. Really, we're moving world trade from a manual to physical, right? No, from a manual to a platform, sorry. And let me just log in here real quick and show you. You guys will be very familiar from your personal shopping experience what you see. I know Jeff has experiences of how business works manually and also platforms as well. So when you come to the platform as a buyer, let this load up. You're going to experience what we call our platform landing page, right? And this, as you can see, is very similar to Amazon as a marketplace. You know, we list a few brands here every month, you know, just to give them visibility. All these guys, by the way, guys, salsa lips is really good sauce for you to eat with your tacos. So buyers can search for brands based on categories. They can search for brands based on trends as well. Plant-based is a big deal right now. If I click on plant-based, you'll see all of the plant-based brands here lined up, right? So you can also view all products as a buyer. Again, these are business buyers. These are your Whole Foods UK, Walmart Mexico. Instead of them manually filling an Excel spreadsheets and emailing it or signing documents, they're now here like Amazon experience, just buying to stock the shelves where we go to shop every day. So if a buyer wants to view all products, they can search by categories, they can search by bestsellers, what's new, they can search by the brands here. For global trade, shipping temperature is a big deal. And I'll tell you a little bit what I mean by that. But they can also search by product attributes. If I was a frozen buyer, I only care about ice cream. I don't care about the shelf-stable beverage. I want to see the frozen items that you have, like the ice cream, so I can just get straight to what I want to buy and then, you know, go ahead. Just one last thing, then I'm done here, guys, is let me go to one of our brands, right? I'll show you the brand landing page and just put an item on the shopping cart and just to show you how we are transforming the industry. So this is the landing page for an average brand. So for business buying, it's really important for buyers to see the data behind the brand. So when you and I buy, we just walk to the store, we see an item on the shelf, we like it, it looks good, and we try it. Business buyers, that person that brings that item to the store shelves for us to buy, their job requires them to bring the item that makes the store money. So what I mean by that is we showcase the three important data. So back to Jeff's questions. How does that help? Traveling the world and speaking with buyers, I know exactly buyers want to know the total sales of a certain brand, business buyers, before they bring it to their stores, how that brand is performing in their category and how the brand is ranked. So within a millisecond, they can see whether or not they want that brand. And we're getting this data real time from our data partners at Spins. So also, you know, they can download the brochure, message the brands directly here, see all the brands information, and so on and so forth. I'll show one more thing, then I'm done with the presentation. So if I click on an item, so this is how we transform global trade, right? So for the first time, buyers have complete visibility of a product all the way to how it's shipped. So international buying, if I was logged in from the UK right now, I will see this in the global metric system, right? Which is different than the US. Buyers, business buyers buy by cases and pallets. We're the first platform to give them 4 buying options. So they can buy by the pallet. So I just loaded a pallet here. They can buy by a layer, which is how you build a pallet, or they can buy by bestsellers, and also they can sample a product. So the one thing here is this specification is years of understanding the data point that buyers and brands need to sell internationally. We've brought it all here. So in one view, a buyer knows exactly what they need to do to understand about the product.